Sony, what are we doing here? What is this? Why are we here? What are we doing here? Um, I'm very confused why you're doing this because there's a lot of annoyed people. I'm not going to get profane in this video, or at least try not to. But hey, it's me, Sam, Bristolian Gamer. I do videos about gaming, that sort of thing, and yeah, it's going to be sort of editorial sort of video today discussing recent events in the gaming news. And yeah, if you saw there that I just flashed up on screen, your eyes are not deceiving you. Your eyes do not have cataracts. No, you didn't forget to put your glasses on. Sony are ceasing production of physical discs of their games starting January of 2028, which first of all puts the nail in the coffin that the PlayStation 6 is not going to have a disc drive. And to say people are annoyed online is putting it lightly. And it's just a bit heartbreaking, if I'm being honest. And I've discussed this on TikTok briefly, and the amount of bizarre defending for Sony I've seen because of I've discussed this already is odd to me. And first of all, let's just discuss physical media is quite important. I know you could say I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I do have, if I can lift it up, a Legion Go here, which is obviously just purely digital because it runs on Steam OS. But if I want a game that I really love, I'll have it on the physical collection here. There's some there too. I'll probably put some B-roll up of some of it up close. As I've discussed, like in many videos, a few months ago, last year I believe as well. We are trying to keep it concise, our collection, because we don't want too much clutter. We don't want to buy just random games just because they're cheap, which is ironic, which I'll get to Steam in a minute. But yeah, we like our physical collection here of games that we really love. I've got a sort of little shrine in front of here that we built where I've got like Spyro, Resident Evil 2, The Punisher on PS2, which I'll probably again flash up as a B-roll footage. But yeah, first of all, yeah, I have a Steam account. This is a fairly recent thing because we got the Legion Go S, and I watched a video by Metal Jesus because he talked about this too. He's got a Steam account too. But the funny thing is about having a Steam account, I have no inclinations of buying games at full price on Steam because Steam is so cheap. And with the recent Steam summer sale at the time of recording this, games can be like anywhere from like £1, excuse me, to about 15 quid for pretty good games. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2 and Cyberpunk are currently £15 on Steam at the moment. I bought Watch Dogs 1 for like £1.79. I bought GTA 4 for £5, that sort of thing. But Steam is something that'll be something for more sort of secondary use in terms of purchasing games, or should I say purchasing, because I don't have any plans to buy games digitally at full price. If they're cheap and I know I'm not going to play them more than once, then I'll pick them up. I do that on Switch too because the Switch eShop quite often has like really good deals on third-party games. Just to preface, third-party games, not their first-party games, because Nintendo they tend to not discount their games too often, and when they do, it's pitiful to say the least. But just to address the elephant in the room, that yeah, I do buy digital games, but my point being is I don't buy digital games at full price. So on to the discussion of physical media, why it's important. Let's get the obvious one out of the way first. Ownership. And you could argue like, oh, you don't own your physical games these days, and you're partly right. You are partly right. Some games don't come with all the data on the disc. Keyword being some games. If you look on a website called Does It Play, I'll probably flash up like a logo or a link or something like that. You'll find that the vast majority of like PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 games, they will run off the disc with no downloads and just pure through installation, and you can play them offline. There are games that require downloads. I'm looking at you, Bethesda, with the Oblivion remaster, Indiana Jones, which ironically they're all on the cartridge on the Switch too, and Doom: The Dark Ages, the other one. Those games, don't have all the data on it. I think Doom: The Dark Ages has like 80 megabytes on the disc, which is ridiculous, and Oblivion only has 20 gigs. Same with Indiana Jones. But the thing is, even when they're not all on the disc, you have the power to lend them to your friends. You can sell them when you don't want them anymore. Whereas once you buy a digital game and it's on your account, you can't do anything else with it. You can't trade it in. You could possibly refund it if you have an issue with it, but Sony's refund policy and Nintendo's, I think Microsoft's a bit better these days, is a bit of a headache. Whereas with Steam, as long as you don't exceed the 2-hour mark, and even if you do, you have to have quite a good reason to refund it after the 2-hour mark. But if you don't exceed the 2-hour mark, you've played it, don't like it, you can refund it on Steam. Easy as that. And I think if these companies want to go for this digital future of their consoles, they need to have a flexible approach with their refund policies like Steam does. But yeah, the importance of physical media. Like, I've collected games over the years. Collection's a lot smaller than it used to be compared to, I don't know, say 3-4 years ago. When I first moved here to Norfolk, I had a boot full of games in my partner's car when we brought them back from Bristol. I want to say I used to have about 200 Xbox 360 games or something silly like that. I shrunk them all down because a lot of them were sort of like crap I picked up in charity shops for like £1, 50p. This was like before like the charity shop boom got really popular here on YouTube. Had a massive collection, sold a lot of them off. A lot of the games that I sold through the retro market and CEX, managed to get a PlayStation 5 with a voucher, managed to get an Xbox One X, which I'm pointing this way because it's right in front of me on the floor here. I got a PSP, which I'll show B-roll footage. I got a new phone, which I'm recording off of here right now. But digressions aside, I got sidetracked there. Physical media is important, and even just like having it on display here. And I know some people are like, oh, the clutter, oh, having to get up to change a game. And when people say it's an effort to get up and change a game, I just go, is it really? Having to get up and walk to your shelf that's probably about a couple of feet away from you to change a game if you want to play a different one? Or with the recent news of Grand Theft Auto 6 not being a disc-based game, people saying like, oh, it's going to be 300 gigs, which, by the way, we don't know what the file size of GTA 6 is. People are just speculating because of the size of the world and the visual quality, or sorry, what we think the visual quality is, because Rockstar haven't showed us the game actually running properly unedited. It's not going to be 300 gigs. I probably think it's like 150 at most. But multi-disc games do exist in this current generation. I mean, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth would like a word with you. And people do realize that we're not dealing with like old school Blu-rays like from the PS3, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 era, where at most they were 50 gigabytes, dual layered. We're dealing with UHD 4K Blu-rays, which can hold up to 128 gigs. And I think if GTA 6 was to come out on physical release, it would be 2 discs. It would. And people go, and I got a strange comment, I might flash it up here on TikTok, saying like, oh, you're a boomer, oh, granddad wants to listen to a gramophone. I can't remember the comment entirely, it'll be on screen. Having to swap discs every time you get further into the story. And I just go, that's not how multi-disc games work in modern era. You have a data disc and you have a play disc. You install it through the data and the play disc, and all you need is just the play disc when playing. You don't swap discs out like you did on the PS1 or the PS2 or the 360 in that case. Because I remember, I think it's LA Noire, Final Fantasy 13 and Lost Odyssey were multiple disc games. LA Noire and Final Fantasy 13 had 3 discs and Lost Odyssey had 4. And Wolfenstein New Order, which they released out on the 360, had 4 discs for some bizarre reason, considering it's a first-person shooter. But id Tech's id Tech 5 engine was a bit odd with its mega textures, which took up an absurd amount of room. But yeah, if they're struggling to fit it on 1 disc, why not put it on 2? Square Enix did it, and you know Square Enix, they're not particularly the most consumer-friendly company in the world, but they went, you know what? people want a physical copy of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, we'll put it on 2 discs, and they'll have no doubt they'll do it with the third part of the remake saga. But what I like about physical media and what Sony doesn't seem to quite understand is that on a digital store you see it, you go, okay, just buy it. Whereas I think when you go into a shop and you buy a disc and you pick it up, you look at it, you kind of like almost like pore over it like it's a historical artifact sometimes, like you're Indiana Jones going like, oh, this is a valuable artifact. Joke aside, but you look on the back of the box, you kind of make a decision based on that, or at least we used to make a decision based on that. Like back in the day when I was like, what, a teenager, sometimes I just buy games because I like the look of the cover, the back of the box, and back then it wasn't that much of a deal breaker in terms of like money, because games were much cheaper than they are now. And I don't want to hear about inflation in the 90s, by the way, if you talk about that, because cartridges were more expensive to manufacture when CD-based games were cheaper, but that's a different topic for another time. The social experience of buying physical media, talking to the shop owner, talking to other people within the shop when you've got it in your hand. I mean, I was in CEX the other day, trading in some bits, and in the queue, guy was buying a movie, and I just tend to people watch sometimes when I'm in queues, and bloke had like a copy. I think it was what was it? Only Live Twice, James Bond film on DVD. Going to buy it. And the guy next to him, he didn't know him. They ended up having a discussion about the film, and saying like, "Oh, that's one of my favorite Bond films." And they had a good discussion about it. It's like you wouldn't get that. You don't get that in digital storefronts, obviously, because you're not in a store, and that's the big problem in today's society. I think people just don't know how to interact with each other anymore since everything's gone quite digital. People are doing a lot of things from home now. And I know this sounds very sort of like boomer attitude. And by the way, I'm only 33 years old. But the social experience of physical media, when you go into a shop, you do interact with other people when you pick things up. It's not like just like you go in, you buy something and walk out. And there are certainly some days where that's all you want to do. But sometimes you do get in a conversation. I often get into a conversation with people in CEX in the queue or other game stores in the queue, that sort of thing. It just happens. It's just sort of normal social human behavior. And I feel with that gone, although CEX isn't going anywhere, to be honest, because CEX will profit from this majorly, because lots of people will be going out to buy physical discs from the past, which I'll talk about more at the end of this video. All that social experience is gone, especially younger people. They probably don't have that experience. They won't have that experience of midnight releases, that sort of thing, going around a friend's house, looking at their shelf and go, can I borrow that? That sort of thing, because that happened a lot when I was a teenager. Go around a friend's house, like, oh, you've got to play this game, and they let me borrow it, and I go home, play it for a week and finish it, because a lot of games you could play it for a week back then and finish it in a busy schedule in between your studies. But I'm very confused what Sony's doing. People say like, oh, majority of people buy digital, and I'm sure that is the case. What I read online, they're saying it's 85% of people buy games digitally. But on the other hand, 10-15% of people buying physical is still a lot of money for them to lose out on. Like, think about how many people play video games. How many people have a PlayStation 5? 15% out of that number is still a lot of people buying physical games. You can't just go, oh, it's only 15%. Yeah, that's a lot of money you're missing out on. Why would you just think 15% is such a insignificant number? Sorry, I'm doing this all mostly in one take. It's not an insignificant number. The reason why Sony are doing this is because they have full control of the market. So no more secondhand games. They can charge you whatever they want. And I know, going back to the Steam argument, people go, oh, you buy games on Steam. It's like, yeah, but there are alternative ways to get Steam codes. With Sony, there is Loaded. You can get Sony codes from Loaded, but I think Sony will still dictate the price of the game on Loaded with their games. Because a lot of PlayStation games on Loaded are a lot of money. And even their PC ports, which they're not doing those anymore either. Uh, Sony will dictate how much they'll charge you, and will they charge you less? No, of course they won't. They're not going to charge you less. In fact, they'll probably charge you more. Digital games, by definition, should be less money. They shouldn't be more money, because they're cutting out the middleman of manufacturing boxes, having to ship it to retailers, having to pay a cut to the retailer. Because with them charging full price still on their digital storefront without the disk drive, they get all the profit. And the only way they're kind of skirting around this here in the UK and Europe is that they're quote unquote still releasing games to retailers. And what that would mean is that they'll have cards on lanyards in, like, I don't know, Asda or Game or whatever retail outlet here. But I think they are monopolizing the industry, because they, and Microsoft will probably go in this direction too before you say anything in the comments, where they can charge what they want in their own closed ecosystem. And with Microsoft, I think with the rumor of Helix, it's going to have Steam on it, so that there's a bit of flexibility. But it's all because they want to control the market completely. So, and I got comments too saying, like, you just don't want to pay full price for games. No, I don't want to pay full price for anything. Why would I want to pay full price for anything? Like with anything in life, you shop around for deals. You don't just blindly pay full whack for something. You shop around for deals, so it makes it easier in your life. You don't pay like the highest like tariff of like your bills, do you? No, you shop around for your bills, like with your internet bill, with your energy provider, with electricity. Well, that falls into energy. You get what I mean. You shop around with everything in life. You don't just pay full whack on your credit card or whatever. You shop around so you can have flexibility in your life, and that goes for your entertainment. So yeah, of course, most people don't want to pay full price for games. That's not the insult you think it is. Saying like, oh, I don't want to pay. You don't want to pay full price for games. No, I don't. It's not an insult, and it's not a flex of you spending loads of money on video games. But to wrap this up, I'm very disappointed, heartbroken, annoyed. I haven't got profane in this video because I'm a bit angry about it too. CEX will profit from this. People will go out and start buying physical games. That's the other thing too. Physical games of older titles, hardware, prices are going to go up. What I will say is, if you're looking for like physical games you really love, you want to get them on the cheap, I would recommend going out buying them now before they start exploding in price, because people will start doing it in the next year or so. And CEX are probably rubbing their hands together right now. And other retro game shops, if you have to, I would recommend, if you're going to spend money, shop in independent retro shops. Don't give CEX your actual money. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. Very disappointed in Sony, bit heartbroken. But what do you think? Let me know down below. Do you care? Do you not care? Either way, let me know down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you later.